Welcome back to Bookview TV. Now this week we're talking with Alice Huskisson. She's author of The Man in the Haystack, and she joins us from her home in Essex. Now, we barely know each other, Alice. We've been talking here for 2 segments. So, what would someone like me have to do to become the man of your dreams? How would I have to change?
Well, I don't know you, Dennis, so I can't really comment with you specifically, but I think, as mentioned earlier, you just got to be kind, caring, funny. A man who makes me laugh is on a winner, and quite attractive as well. Have to be quite attractive, quite short.
Well, I strike out on all those accounts because I'm 6'4", and there goes the attractiveness. So, tell us a little bit about the nightmare men that you've met.
One guy that I fell head over and heels in love with just didn't want to date. He wanted to see me all the time. He wanted to go on webcam for hundreds upon hundreds of hours with me, and but he would never actually say, I want you to be my girlfriend, I want to go out with you. It was just, he wanted to see me all the time, and I never understood it. I couldn't get my head around it. I fell truly, madly, deeply in love with him, but I couldn't get him. And it was heartbreaking, absolute heartbreaking.
You know, you must have had other good dates and relationships along the way. So tell us what made them work, and then how they eventually fell short.
Well, you see, all of my, well, I say successful relationships, but obviously they haven't been successful, long-term relationships, they've always had good communication, a good attraction for each other, and just generally having fun times together. That's all it takes. Well, I had all of that with this other guy, the one I feel madly in love with, but he just couldn't commit, not even to saying that he was my boyfriend. That was so frustrating, so confusing. And this is why I say I don't understand men, because what could he have been looking for outside of what we had? It was just very, very strange to spend all that time with somebody and not actually want to commit. Very odd.
So when you read a book like this, who should be more worried reading this, men or women?
I don't think anybody should be worried about it. I don't want to come across as a man hater, because I'm not. I love men. I really do love men. But it's just really, what it is, it's a blog that I wrote quite a few years ago when I was in my 40s and really wanting to settle down. So it just carries it just shows all of my dates all the way through, and the highs and the lows. And there are a lot of lows. But it's not that anybody should be afraid of it. It's just honest, insightful, raw. It's a true picture of what goes on in the dating world, and most women can relate to it. There's going to be somebody in there that they recognise.
Well, you know, maybe worried was a poor choice of words. So, who do you feel then gains the most from a book such as this? Is it women or is it men? It's
the women. Definitely the women. It shows them that they're not alone. It's not them that are crazy. I'm not saying the guys are crazy, but they're not crazy. Because sometimes when you're going through this, you feel like, is it me? You know, what have I done? I don't understand, you know. But they can see that it happens. It really does happen, and they'll recognise men in there, because there's so many different types of men. Toy boys, you know, office workers, players, charmers. They're going to recognise some kind of guy that they've been out with. And some women have said to me, these are women who have married more or less straight out of college. So they never really dated. And now they're in their 40s or 50s. and it shows them what the dating world is like and what they've missed out on. And you know, literally what goes on. They've got an insight into a part of what their life could have been.
Is it safe to say that people who have gone through a separation or a divorce are also avid consumers because they're trying to figure out now what is it I need to do?
Well, absolutely, yeah. It just shows them what the dating world is like. It's a scary place, the dating world, Dennis.
Well, I'm terrible. I'm terrified. So there must be some truth to that.
I would not want to be dating again ever. I've had my fill of it.
Now, you chose to publish this particular book yourself. What was that experience like?
Oh wow. Actually, I was encouraged to turn my blog into a book. I was working full time at the time, and there was no way I could find the time to do that. So, as chances happened, I was made redundant. Very traumatic. I'd been working there 28 years, but I needed to focus my mind and get a positive out of it. So I then set to publishing the book, and I researched literally everything. It's been a massive learning curve. It's been very complicated, but I have learnt so much, and to actually have the paperback in my hand for the first time was an incredible feeling, such an achievement. It is my biggest achievement in life, I think. So it was very difficult, but I'd say to anybody who wants to write a book, publish a book, just do it. Just do it, because you'll just feel amazing at the end of it.
Well, good advice for publishing as well as for dating. Just do it. Thank you, Alice, for joining us.
Thank you, Dennis.
Our guest this week has been Alice Huskisson. She's the author of The Man in the Haystack. Now, it's available in ebook and paperback format on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. And you can read more about Alice on her blog, www.alicehuskissonauthor.wordpress.com, and you can follow her on Twitter at Alice_Haystack. Thanks again for joining us this week on BookView TV. Tune in again next week when yet another author will sit across the Skype table from me, and we'll once again discuss books and the craft of writing them. I'm Dennis Campbell saying thank you for joining us, and good night.